We continue now at the top of Daf Yudalad Amud Aleph and Meseches Rosh Hashana. This is Rosh Hashana Daf 14a. The Gemara continues with Tzricha. We need all three statements of Shmuel. Rashi over here says, with Tzricha Hani Telos to Shmuel, we need all three statements of Shmuel. Number one, that halacha is Rabbi Shimon Shazuri. Halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri that was quoted on the previous Amud. Ulechol ein bila, and also Shmuel holds that there's no bila, there's no mixing, except by yayin and shemen, by liquids. They're going to mix appropriately, otherwise it will not. V'hakol holech Gemara Pri, and also the statement that Shmuel made that everything follows the Gemara Pri, everything follows when the Pri has finished maturing. And the Gemara now explains. The Iyashmin and halacha Rabbi Shimon Shazuri. If he only taught us that the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri, again, Rabbi Shimon Shazuri said that by the Pol HaMitzri, if you have some that took root before Rosh Hashanah and some that took root after Rosh Hashanah, so he said what you can do is you can put them all together and take off Trumas and Meiser, so you don't have to worry that you're taking off from the old on the new and the new on the old. So if it would have only said that halacha was like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri, Hava Amina Mishum de Kosavar Yesh Bila, I would have thought the reason why he's holding like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri is because he holds there's proper mixing, that it mixes together properly, and therefore we assume that the new is being taken off Truma on the new and Meiser, and the old on the old. We assume everything is good because of Yesh Bila. But Kamash Malon, so that's why he has to tell us Lachol Ein Bila, that there is no Bila again except for Yayin and Shemen. V'yashmin and lachol ein bila. Now, if he only told us there's no mixing, so hava mina k'Rabbanan svirla, I might have thought that he holds like the Rabbanan. Maybe I would think that he rejects Rabbi Shimon Shazuri. So kamash malon halacha Rabbi Shimon Shazuri. So it comes to teach us, no, the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri. V'yashmin and hanitarti, and if I only had those two, hava mina kasha de Shmuel ad Shmuel, then I would think there'd be a contradiction in Shmuel. On the one hand, he's saying ein bila. On the other hand, he's saying the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri. How can you mix them all together if ein bila? And the answer is, Kamash Malona comes to tell us, Hakol Holech Achar Gemar Pri, that again, when it comes to this Pol HaMitzri, it doesn't follow when it takes root. It's not a problem at all. You don't have your old and new because it doesn't go by Hashrasha. What it goes by is the Gemar Pri. It goes by when the fruit ripens. They all ripen at the same time, and therefore there is no problem of taking off Trumas and Meisers from the old crop on the new crop. And the Gemara continues, if he only taught us that we follow the Gemara Pri, I would have thought that halacha following the Gemara Pri applies even by grain, even by olives. Kamash Malon, so it comes to tell us that is not the case. And rather, halacha Rabbi Shimon Shazuri b'may depolig. The halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Shazuri only in regard to those kinds of foods which he was talking about, which he was arguing about. Rashi over here explains, b'may depolig b'mine kitnius, meaning when it comes to kitnius, so then Amar Shmuel, then Shmuel says, D'ma'orvin hanishrashin lefnei Rosh Hashana b'nishrashin lachar Rosh Hashana, that you can mix together the ones that took root before Rosh Hashana with the ones that took root after Rosh Hashana. V'yoyev time and he explains the reason, Mishum deholchen ben achar gemar pri, because we follow when again the fruit is fully ripened. Avol tvua v'zeisim, but again when it comes to grain and olives, achar shlish, then we follow 1/3. We don't follow the gemar pri. That's what he's coming to teach us in that statement. The Gemara continues, v'lishminan hani tarti. Why not just teach two of those things, as Rashi over here says? V'lishminan hani tarti u'mido amar Shmuel hakol holech achar gemar pri. From the fact that Shmuel says everything follows when the fruit is finished. Ashmina da'ai to halacha Rabbi Shimon, then we would know that when he says the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon, lav mishum bila, we know it's not because of bila. Ela mishum dekulei chadash, rather it's because all of it's considered new crop, all of it is considered new kitnius. Avol bila leslei, but he doesn't hold a bila. Diislei bila, because if he held a bila, my ashmin and hakol holech achar gemar pri, what does he need to tell us? Everything follows the gemar pri. Just simply say there's bila, and that's why it's not a problem. So again, you only need to teach two things: hakol holech achar gemar pri, and that the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon. And so the Gemara continues, Lachol ein bila lamali. Why does he need to teach us that for all things there's no bila? And to that the Gemara says, Hakamash Malon, with that he's teaching us the layayin v'shemen yesh bila, that when it comes to wine and oil, as we said before, when it comes to liquids that mix properly, so there we do apply the principle of bila. And the Gemara continues, Tanya, we learned in a brayser, Rav Yossi Aglili Omer, Rav Yossi Aglili says, Bi'ozbecha migornecho miyikvecha, when you gather from the threshing floor and from your wine press, Ma goren v'yikav miyuchadin shegedelin al meishana she'avra. Just like when it comes to that which is gathered from the threshing floor and from the wine press, it is stuff that grew based on the waters of the previous year. Umisasrin l'shana she'avra, and also you take off meiser, you consider it the previous year's fruits. So afkol shegedelin al meishana she'avra, so to any other item which is growing on the waters from the previous year, misasrin l'shana she'avra, the meiser is going to go according to that previous year. Yatsu yirak Yerakos, and that comes to exclude vegetables, Shegedeilin al Meshana Haba, they grow on this year's waters, Umisasrin Lashana Haba, and they're also you're going to take off mice, you're going to consider it to be from this year, not from the year before. Rabbi Akiva Omer, the Brisa continues. Rabbi Akiva says, "Biospecha migarnecha miyikvecha." Again, the same pasuk when you gather from the threshing floor and from your wine press. Magoren v'yikav miyuchadin shegedelen al rov mayim. Just like when it comes to the threshing floor, when it comes to the wine press, these are things that grow al rov mayim, meaning they grow by rainfall. That's all the water that is needed to grow these items. Umisazrin l'shana shavra, and again, these are things where you take off the mice or you consider it the previous year. Afkol shegedelen al rov mayim. So to anything else that grows from rainfall alone, Mesasrin Lashana Shavra, the Meiser is going to be considered from the previous year. Yatsu Yerakos comes to exclude vegetables. Shegedelin Al Kol Mayim, that grows through all water, meaning you have to irrigate Yerakos as well. They need irrigation besides for the rainfall. Umisasrin Lashana Haba, and therefore the Meiser for them, it's going to be considered for the coming year. So both Rabbi Yossi Haglili and Rabbi Akiva, they're learning the same basic thing when it comes to Yerakos, that the Meiser is Lashana Haba, and they're learning it from the same pasuk but in a slightly different way. And Rashi over here explains, again, this is the pasuk when you gather from the threshing floor, talking about your grain, when you gather the wine from the wine press. What's going on over here, Rashi explains, is that when it comes to Meiser Yerek, that's all D'Rabbanan, and the Chachamim, they relied upon this pasuk. It's not really Doraisa, but they use this pasuk as an asmachta. The asmachta bialma, to say that when it comes to Yerek, you follow Lakita, you follow the time that the Yerek is actually, that you actually harvest the Yerek, and that's the year that you determine whether the Yerek belongs again to whatever year. It goes by the time that you're picking the Yerek. So Kol Asif Shelcha Yeheket Shumas Goren V'Yikev. We're now learning through an asmachta from this pasuk that we compare it to what we do by the threshing floor and the wine press. Sheholcha behen Torah achar shana shehivia shlish. Because we know, as we said before, when it comes to the grain, when it comes to the wine, we follow the year where it grew a third. We don't go by when it's fully grown. We don't go by when we harvested, etc. We go by when it grows a third. What that means is we're really following the year where it grew from that water when you watered it. When it grows 1/3, that's the real growth of these items. At that point already, it's fit in theory. You can harvest it even though it's not the best time to harvest. It's a little bit early, but you can still harvest at that point in time. And so what we're really saying, again, according to Rabbi Yossi Aglili, is you're following the year where when the rain fell, when these items were watered. So afkol, so that's true by anything else. He said that's true by a tree as well. What do we follow by a tree? We follow achar chanat. We follow the formation of the fruit. You don't follow when you actually pick the fruit by a tree. You follow the formation. That's the shana sha'avra, the previous year. Shakol gedelas peiros of al yedei sha'alo asraf ha'ilon lefnei chanati. How is all this fruit growing? It's growing through the sap of the tree. That all takes place before the formation of the fruit. Again, that takes place in the previous year, so to speak. Yatsu Yerakos Shegedelin al Meshana Haba. That's different by Yerakos, because Yerakos grow on the water this year. V'hainu shnas lekitasan, meaning Yerakos, the way it works is the water that falls really makes it grow immediately. So the year that you're collecting it, the year that you're picking the vegetables, that's actually the water that it's growing on from that very year. Sharei goes is in Osa. What would happen is you would cut the Yerakos, v'chozer segedela, and immediately new Yerakos would sprout up. It's growing immediately, so to speak, from the water of this year, and that's why it's Mesasrin Lashana Haba. And then the other way of learning was like Rabbi Akiva, that it's a difference between whether it grows through rainfall or whether you need to irrigate. Rov Mayim means Hey Megashamim, that refers to rainfall. Sharov Zeraim Gedelim Al Yadam, most of it is going to grow. Again, most of these Zeraim, they grow through just rainfall. But when it comes to Yerakos, it's different. It's al kol mayim. They grow through all water. Afal she'uvin, shadolin, umashkino saltamin. You have to constantly draw water and irrigate it. Kenyan shenemra, the pasuk itself says, "Vishkisa braglecha kegan hayorak." You're going to have to water yourself like the vegetables in the garden. Stam gan hayorak darko bashka. That's the stam situation by a garden where you have vegetables. You have to irrigate it. So again, they're learning basically the same exact halacha, but in a slightly different way from the pasuk. And so the Gemara now continues, my beinayu. So what's the difference between Rabbi Yossi Aglili and Rabbi Akiva? They're learning the exact same thing, but there must be at least one case where there's going to be a machlokus between them. And so the Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Avo says, Bitzolim hasarisin, that refers to onions that are sarisin, means to say they don't have any seeds. Upol hamitzri, and the Egyptian bean, that's the same thing we were talking about before. Ika beinayu, that would be a machlokas between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yossi Aglili. The Tanan, as we learned in the Mishnah, Bitzolim hasarisin upol hamitzri. Let's say you have a case again of these Bitzolim hasarisin and the pol hamitzri. Shemona mehen mayim shloshim yom lefnei Rosh Hashana. You didn't water them 30 days before Rosh Hashana. So Misa'asrin l'sha'avar. So actually the year of Meiser is going to be from before Rosh Hashana. It's going to be considered from the previous year. Umutar and b'shvius. And let's say the next year is a Shemitah year, it's going to be mutter. It's not going to be considered fruits from shvius. V'im lav, and if not, so then asur and b'shvius, u'misa'asrin l'shana haba. Again, if you didn't hold back the water 30 days before Rosh Hashana, so then it's going to be asur and shvius. It's going to be considered Shemitah produce, and the Meiser is going to be considered from that following year in such a situation. And Rashi over here explains, Bitzolim hasarisim shein nasin gedol and kashar bitzolim. They're not as big as other onions. Upol hamitzri shazaro liyerek. The case over here is you're planting it for the vegetable. The zaro lizera, if you planted it for the seeds, kidneys, so then it would be considered kidneys. Then we would actually follow when it takes root. Again, that's not the case in this Mishnah. Ika beinayo. Again, that's going to be the machlokas between Rabbi Yossi Aglili and Rabbi Akiva. Kagon shemona mehem mayim. The case is specifically where you hold back water. V'lo hishku shloshim yom lefnei Rosh Hashana. You don't water it 30 days before Rosh Hashana. V'likdan achar Rosh Hashana. Then you collect it after Rosh Hashana. V'chiyam mas nisan detnan me Meseches shvius betzolim hasarisim v'chulu. Again, it's this Mishnah in Meseches shvius. Rabbi Yossi Aglili islay. Rabbi Yossi Aglili islay ham mas nisan. He would hold of this Mishnah. Dekevon demona mayim shloshim yom lefnei Rosh Hashana. Because since you held back water for 30 days before Rosh Hashana, nimtzu gedelin al mei shana sha'avra. It comes out what water is causing these items to grow. It's the water from the previous year. So again, according to Rabbi Yossi Aglili, that's what we follow. Which water is this item growing through? It's growing through the water of the previous year. It's considered part of the previous year. Well, Rabbi Akiva, but according to Rabbi Akiva, hare gedelin al kol mayim. This is still an item which generally grows through irrigation, not with rainfall alone. U'misasron lahaba. Therefore, you follow the rule that the meiser follows the following year. And Rashi continues, Beferish Romiyim Mefarish Ipcha, and so it says in this Perish Romiyim, they actually give the opposite explanation of what's going on. They say Rabbi Akiva is Leha Masnis, and that it's actually Rabbi Akiva who's the one who holds of this Mishnah. Why? Shemona Mehen Mayim Shloshim Yom Lefnei Rosh Hashana, because if you held away water for 30 days before Rosh Hashana, then Misaser L'Sha'avar, then actually Rabbi Akiva is going to be the one that holds it goes from the previous year. What's the reason? Umefarish Time in the Talmud Yerushalmi, it explains the reason in the Talmud Yerushalmi, Amar Rab Minah, Mikevan Shemona Mehen Mayim Shloshim Yom Lefnei Rosh Hashana. Rabbi Minah says, since you held back water 30 days before Rosh Hashana, Nasu Kibal Kilomar Zman Chiyuv and Lamaiser Rosh Hashana Dehem Lo Nistafchu Mikol Mayim. So now that you held back that water, so it becomes like a field that was not irrigated. It's really not being. You're not watering it through water that you drew, but rather it's rainfall. Shein Mayim Shuv and Zeh Shloshim Yom Kimi Mega Shamim. You're only using the rainfall. Yatsumi Toras Yerako. So therefore, it's no longer considered yerek. Hagadelan al kol mayim, which grow al kol mayim. V'nichnasu b'Torah sadeh habal. It's considered like a field, again like a field which is just going through rainwater. The mistapik v'mega shamim misasron l'sha'avar. So according to this opinion, again, it's going to be Rabbi Akiva who's the Mishnah. Rabbi Akiva is going to say that the meiser goes from the previous year because it is growing only on rainfall when you hold back the water. Rashi continues, Darkon shel betzolam hasarisun u'pol hamitzri lemnoa mehen mayim shuvin perak echad lefnei lekitas. And this is the normal way by these betzolam hasarisun and the pol hamitzri. You normally hold back the water for that little time period right before you collect it. Kedei lahakshos, and that makes them harder. Lafikach chilkom chachamim mishar yerakos. So therefore the chachamim said that they're different than other yerakos. Aval shar yerakos, when it comes to other yerakos, shein darkam mekach, which is not normal to do that. Afilu mona mehen, even if you would hold back the water, lo yatzumi den yerek, that doesn't take them out of the category of yerek. Ubad ladaita, what he did is different than what anyone else would do, and that doesn't make any difference. Rashi continues the other way around as well. Betzolam hasarisim mistafkin l'shana behashka achas l'shloshim yom v'yoser. When it comes to these particular onions, again, if you just water it one time in 30 days, it's going to last for a long time. Lafikachem hishkan b'soch shloshim yom lefnei Rosh Hashana. Therefore, let's say you do water it within 30 days of Rosh Hashana. Nimtzes hashka zos mo'elislam. It comes out that watering will be effective b'shvius, already into the Shemitah year. Lafikach asur and b'shvius, so it's going to be considered shvius produce. It's going to be asur. Ulinyan Meiser Nami, as far as Meiser as well, Havalu Kigedelin Al Meishana Haba. If you water it within 30 days of Rosh Hashanah, it's like it's growing on the water of the following year. Shadayin Lachluchis Hashkosam Kayemis, because the moisture of what you just did is still going to be around in the next year. Aval Yerek Shadarko Ligazes, but when it comes to Yerek, it's normal to just cut it immediately. Tzarach Lashko, so Talmud, you're constantly watering it. Vafilu Mona Mimenu Shloshim Yom Lefnei Rosh Hashanah, and even let's say in such a situation, you would decide on your own, like we said, you would hold back the water for 30 days before Rosh Hashanah, but l'daitu etzel kol adam, that's not a normal thing to do. And therefore they make no distinction, because again, that's not normal. Something that's lo shchicha, something that's not common, so we're not going to make such a distinction by other Yerakos. And the Gemara continues that the two dots, quoting the Mishnah, B'echad b'Shvat Rosh Hashana Le'ilon, on the first of Shvat, that's the Rosh Hashana for the trees. That was the opinion of Beis Shammai. The Gemara says, my time, and what's the reason? Amar Rabbi Lozer, Amar Rabbi Oshia. Rabbi Lozer says in the name of Rabbi Oshia, Hoil v'yatzu rov gishmei shana, since most of the rain of the season has already fallen at this point in time, v'adayin rov tekufa mibachutz, but still the entire winter season, the majority of the winter season is still ahead of us. So the Gemara says, my Kamar, what is that supposed to mean? That sounds like the exact opposite. If you have most of the winter still to come, why is it suddenly considered a new season? Why is it the Rosh Hashanah for Elon? And so the Gemara explains, Hachi Kamar, here's what it means to say. Afal pisharov tekufa mibachutz, even though most of the season is still yet to come, hoel v'yatzu rov gishmei shana, but since most of the rain has already fallen, therefore this becomes the Rosh Hashanah when it comes to the trees. Rashi over here says, Be'echad b'Shvat Rosh Hashanah le'ilon, ve'in tormen mi peiros ilon shechantu peiros of kodem lochein, al peiros ilon shechantu la'achar mikan. Let's say you had a tree where the fruits formed before, again, the first of Shvat, and yet another tree where the fruits formed after the first of Shvat. Those are considered two separate years. You don't take off truma from one on the other. Hoel v'yatzu rov gishmei shana, since most of the rain of the season has fallen. Shekvar ava rov yemos hageshamim shuzman revia ve'ala hasraf beilanos v'nimtzu ha'peiros chonten me'at. Already most of the rain has fallen. The sap from the trees has already come, and the fruits have already begun to form. Ve'adayin rov tkufas teves mibachutz, and again, the majority of the season of teves is still yet to come. Adayin rov hatkufa lavo, it's still coming. So the Gemara asks, my Kamar, what does that mean to say? V'adayin rov tkufa mibachutz. If you're saying most of the season is yet to come, kol shekain, so certainly the other way around. If most of the season is ahead of us, so the time for the formation of the fruits hasn't occurred yet. They shouldn't make Rosh Hashanah until a little later, until the end of the season, until Adar. And again, the Gemara answers that it really means to say, even though most of the season is ahead of us, since most of the rain has already fallen, this becomes the Rosh Hashanah. And the Gemara continues, Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Maaseh Rabbi Akiva, there was a story with Rabbi Akiva, Shaliket Esrog be'echad b'Shvat, that he picked an Esrog on the first day of Shvat, v'noag bo shnei Yisurin, and he treated it with two Maisras. Rashi over here explains, Shaliket Esrog peiros Elon Esrog, meaning again, this is a situation of a tree, and it was the first of Shvat, it was already the Rosh Hashanah according to Beis Shammai, but not according to Beis Hillel. And so Rashi continues, Shnei Yisurim, so he did two Maisers, meaning Maiser Sheni b'Shana Shni, he considered it a second year fruit on the one hand and took off Maiser Sheni. Umaiserani b'Shana Shlishis, but he also wasn't sure. He said maybe the halacha is like Beis Shammai, maybe it was already Rosh Hashanah, and therefore we should do Maiserani like it's the third year. Shaisa Shnia nechnesas l'Shlishis, because he's standing here right at the point where the second year is going into the third year. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yud Daled Amud Beis.